Been called Pinocchio as a kid and always felt paranoid that I had a really big nose. And it just affected my self-confidence really. So it was just something that I really wanted to get done for myself, rhinoplasty. So yeah, I started researching which country would be cheaper than Australia because it was $23,000 in Australia to get done. So foreign skin. So in my research, I found two things that are really important to look for if you're going for surgery in Korea. First is that they're certified with the government. There's a lot of undercover operations and there's some uncertainty about whether they're actually registered doctors or not doing these things. So just be careful with that. And another one was that our skin is apparently thinner than theirs. So our skin is harder to deal with. So if your doctor hasn't dealt with foreigners before, they might do it the same as they do with Koreans, which won't work for your skin. The booking procedure was pretty easy. I just said a few dates that I was interested in coming, and they said, don't book your tickets until we check. And so then maybe a month out, they reconfirmed, are you still interested in doing this date? And I said yes. And so then they said, yes, you're confirmed for this time and this date. Arrive at least the day before to see the doctor. And then I booked my tickets and then went over. Yes, that's a big one, especially for me because I went overseas. I got medical insurance that covered surgery overseas as well. So yeah, don't skimp on that. The consultation process was pretty cool. When I originally asked for the quote, and this happened with all of them as well, I sent front, side, and up views of my nose, and then sent pictures of people with similar noses, the before and after, to say that this was my ideal result. And then they would come back and go, we think it's going to cost this much, we think it's going to cost this much. There was a really good one, but it was double the price, and it let you stay overnight for a few nights in the hospital, but I couldn't afford that, so I ended up just going back to my hotel. So yeah. After looking at what other people said, and also my friend who'd had the surgery done in Australia, was to have a straw, because you can't actually move your upper lip after surgery, and it's really hard to drink, and you don't want to tip your head and all that kind of stuff. So I had a straw, and I was really, really thirsty because you're breathing through your mouth for the first 3 days, at least 3 days, which really dries you out. I also took cream for my tongue because my friend said that she got thrush of the mouth from breathing through her mouth so much, which I'd never heard of before. I also took one of those neck pillows that you take for traveling, just to make sure that my head stayed still during sleep, because you're not meant to turn your face or look down. Otherwise you get these big black eyes. And yeah, luckily I didn't have too much bruising compared to what I'd seen in other people. I also took a little pill case, the Monday to Friday thing, just to make sure my pills were all, I had to take them morning and night. I've heard other people take them 3 times a day as well, but just when you're coming out of anesthetic, you're not really cluey as to what you're meant to do. So I felt like those kind of precautions and things to take with you beforehand is really helpful. I have surgery here for something unrelated. And I just checked with the hospital of what anesthetic I'd had in the past, and I got an actual list of the drugs so that I could show the doctor there in Korea, just to make sure that it's compatible with what they would be using, because I'm not allergic to the local anesthetic that they have in Australia, but I don't know if they use different ones in Korea. And as it turned out, they used the same one, so it was fine. So just be careful, because you just don't know what you're going to react to, and being in a foreign country, you know, you don't want to get sick because you had a reaction to the anesthetic. So if you have any records, make sure you pass them on, or any allergies, they ask you that anyway. I was a little bit scared going in, but then once I started speaking to the translator and stuff, I felt more comfortable. And yeah, when I was there, everyone was totally lovely, and the nurses were beautiful, and everyone's always smiling and happy, and the doctor was really cheeky. So I really enjoyed my experience. I do have to say that I feel like their aftercare could be a bit better. I feel like it'd be better to get all your drugs and everything beforehand, not when you're coming out with anesthetic. I also feel like they should, well, I went in the next day after surgery, but I feel like their follow-up care should be better. They should have a little pamphlet or something that says, don't wear glasses for 3 months, don't go with hard exercise for 3 months and all that. But otherwise, I found the experience really good. Yeah, there was a language barrier, but I had a translator with me the whole time, and her English was perfect. When I actually got there, she was an American Korean. And as soon as I walked into the surgery itself, there was another American Korean lady sitting at the front desk and totally fluent English. So yeah, I felt totally comfortable, and I could see on the guest list that there were heaps of other foreigners who spoke English there as well, and there were 2 other Caucasian girls in the reception as soon as I arrived. So we're all just smiling at each other, knowing that the next day we're probably going to be all bandaged up. And there's so many people walking around Gangnam with bandages on their nose and around their head because they've had the V-line and everything. Yeah, so people don't even look at you, which is really cool. Well, I just did research. It took me 2 or 3 months. I just looked up grand surgery and then looked at the hotels around it. And it's a pretty expensive area, but I managed to find Gold Hill Guest House, which was really sweet. Just a little family run business. And yeah, just stayed there, and it was literally 500 meters from the surgery. So it was perfect. Make sure you have an updated passport. So you need at least 6 months to enter most countries. So just double check the rules on that. You don't want to get stuck. And I was also asking about whether the face recognition on our passport would let me back into Australia. And I was lucky it did. But depending on how much surgery you get, you may need to sort that out with your government before you leave. Don't leave it to the last minute, because you don't want to not be able to get back into your own home. Yes, look, I was really lucky. I had a great surgeon, a great surgery, and a great experience overall, but I've also heard some really bad stories. So good luck. I hope you find a good one. There are service providers that actually do everything for you. They book your hospital, they book your accommodation, they pick you up at the airport, do transfers and all that kind of stuff. I didn't do that because I'm a seasoned traveler, so I was comfortable being there by myself. I didn't know anyone. I met people there, but I was fine. I didn't take anyone with me, but I know a lot of people wouldn't feel comfortable with that. So if you need someone there, yeah, definitely take them. I think they'll be bored waiting for you to recover, but yeah, day 5, you can go traveling together. I arrived at 2 in the afternoon. They did x-rays of my bone structure. Had another consult with the doctor to triple confirm what I wanted, and that we're on the same page. He drew diagrams, I agreed, signed the contracts to say that yes, this is the procedure that I agree to. Got changed into my little pajama things, and then I think I was back out again at 5 p.m. So everything included was 3 hours. And that was after a rest coming out of sedation as well. So yeah. Extra costs. So I was guaranteed that the quote that I got was the quote that it would be. And then on the day before the surgery, when I arrived, they said, oh, actually after the consultation, it's going to cost you an extra $1,000 Australian because you want this, and $1,000 for that. And I said, well, to be honest, I've only budgeted for this and that's all I have. And then on the day of the surgery, when I went to actually pay, it was the price that we had agreed on. And they ended up doing the 2 extra things that they said regardless, because I think they needed to do them to do the operation. But I just thought that was a bit tricky. So just be careful with the pricing and make sure you're very clear about your boundaries and what money you have. Don't fall for that extra upsell kind of stuff. After surgery, I'd heard other horror stories of people feeling like they were abandoned. Basically, they were kicked out of the hospital and then couldn't figure out how to get home, couldn't speak the language, couldn't hire a cab because they weren't stopping because you had to have had it booked, but you don't have the app. And so that's another reason I got a place very close to the surgery so that I could literally walk. I wasn't too woozy to not be able to cross the street or know where I was going. I was totally awake and aware. So yeah, I would recommend being within walking distance, or at least having someone to pick you up. Sleeping sitting up, yes, that's not fun. Luckily for me, the first day I tried sleeping sitting up and then I laid down again and it was actually fine. So I stayed laying down for the rest of it. But my girlfriend who had surgery in Australia said she had to sit up for 2 weeks. So it's different people heal different speeds, I suppose. My goodness, it's been 2 months now since my operation and I'm still sleeping on my back. I have to do it for another month. And I'm counting down the days. It's driving me crazy. I hate sleeping on my back. I'm a side sleeper from way back. So anyway, just be prepared for that. I didn't know that going into it. I still would have done it. But yeah, I don't really like sleeping on my back for that long. And the mouth breathing for the first few days was annoying as well. Other than that, I didn't really have any difficulties or anything. I can wear goggles and glasses next month as well. So after 3 months, I can do heavy exercise. After 3 months, I can do light walking now. So a month after the operation. That's all I can think of. Did it hurt? No, not really. I thought it would. It's more just uncomfortable and you accidentally bump yourself and stuff. And that's when it hurts because your nose is still actually broken when you come out of surgery for months. So you've just got to be careful. But yeah, day 3, day 4 were the worst for me. I was super puffy, couldn't see out of my eyes, and sleeping was hard because I was breathing through my mouth. But once all the stuff came off, so by day 4 or 5, I started to feel normal again and actually forgot that I had a thing over my nose or that I had had surgery. So yeah, for me, no, not painful at all. The first time I saw my nose, it was super, super turned up, and I still feel like it is quite turned up now as well, but they say that it takes a year to see the full nose, the before and after. So yeah, this is my nose now 2 months on. Which is heaps better than what it used to be. So once it drops a little bit by the end of the year, or like within a year, it'll come out more, it'll drop a bit. So yeah, that'll be good. How much was it? So in Australia, it's 23,000 for the same surgery that I got, which was hump removal, tip raise, and general rhinoplasty. And it cost 9,000, including accommodation, flights, spending money, everything for 3 weeks in Korea, which is fantastic. So of course it may or may not be different for you depending on exactly what you need done. I got my deviated septum fixed as well. So yeah, altogether 9,000 Australian. So if you like what I'm up to, subscribe below, and I'm going to be posting monthly photos and tips and videos coming up. So the next one will be the 1st of January 2025. Thanks.